Saturday morning TV could make high school look like the coolest place on earth. When teenagers solved every problem in 22 minutes, everyone looked like they walked straight out of a catalog, and the biggest problem was running out of hair gel before the big dance? Well, welcome to Saved by the Bell, the show that premiered in 1989 and convinced an entire generation that being a teenager meant wild plans, last-minute panic attacks over caffeine pills, and principals who also acted like life coaches. Zack Morris was the ultimate troublemaker. Kelly Kapowski was America's sweetheart. Screech was, well, Screech. And somehow Bayside High became the high school we all wished we could go to. Today we're breaking down 15 weird facts about the show that made Saturday mornings must-watch TV and turned Time Out into a cultural legend. Now before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe because it really does help the channel. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Zack Morris's trash. The Funny or Die legacy.
Would you like to go to the dance with me?
Sure, I'd love to go with you.
Would noon be too early to pick you up?
For decades, fans saw Zack Morris as Saturday morning's version of James Dean, the lovable rebel who always got the girl and somehow made stealing Screech's girl look cool. Remember the episode where he actually dated Lisa? Crazy. Then the internet happened. Enter Funny or Die's Zack Morris is Trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
A web series that re-examined every episode with the careful detail of a true crime podcast and reached one unavoidable conclusion. Zack wasn't charming. He was a manipulative sociopath in acid-wash jeans.
At least you guys have uniforms. We don't have anything to wear for field hockey.
Really? I'll have to check out your next game.
Every heroic rescue? Well, it was really just selfish damage control. In all those schemes, he was always ready to pull his friends into them or throw them under the bus, sometimes both. Remember when he sold swimsuit calendar photos of Kelly, Jesse, and Lisa without even thinking twice? Or that time Jesse got hooked on caffeine pills, like we just talked about? Zack ignored her the whole time until everything exploded, and only then did he step in. Oh, and let's not forget when he ruined Kelly's actual prom date just so he could take her himself. Yeah, it turns out the coolest guy at Bayside was basically a teenage con artist with better hair and parents who apparently had an unlimited phone budget.
The Zack Morris I know is not a quitter.
Yeah, she's right. Hey, don't let that jerk make you look like a total loser.
The series became so popular that its creator, Dash O'Driscoll, was hired to write for the 2020 Saved by the Bell reboot. And what did the reboot do? They made Zack the governor of California. Because apparently being a manipulative teenager is perfect training for a career where you always get exactly what you want. Honestly, that tracks for Zack Morris. The internet had officially rewritten sitcom history, and for once, nobody complained. Turns out we'd been rooting for the villain all along, which in hindsight explains a lot about the 90s. Number 2. Jesse's famous "I'm so excited" breakdown was originally supposed to be about speed. You know the scene, the one that became a huge meme. Jessie Spano is holding her caffeine pills like they're the last coin at an arcade, shaking and yelling, "I'm so excited, I'm so scared." It's dramatic, chaotic, and unforgettable.
Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I just need one of these.
Pills? You mean you really are taking drugs?
I need them.
Jesse, give me those.
I need them, Zack. I have to sing.
Jesse! You can't sing tonight.
Yes, I can. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Jesse.
It's been parodied more times than Zack Morris's Time Out superpower, and honestly, it deserves every one. But here's the twist that would make even Zack jealous. Jessie wasn't supposed to be hooked on caffeine pills. In the original script, she was addicted to actual speed, real amphetamines. And yeah, that would have made her dramatic meltdown a lot more understandable. But this was the peak anti-drug era, when even candy cigarettes caused panic, and every after-school special treated marijuana like radioactive waste. NBC took one look at that script and basically said, "Whoa there! We can't show real drugs on Saturday morning TV. What's next, Screech dealing behind the gym?" So they cleaned it up faster than Zack could talk his way out of detention, turning the whole thing into one of TV's most unintentionally hilarious PSAs. Nothing destroys credibility faster than trying to make caffeine look like the gateway to hell. Number 3. Zack's cell phone costs more than most people's car.
Flush the toilet.
It's ringing. Ready with the buckets. Hello, Mr. Tisselberty. Well, this is Mr. Belding. What?
You remember that gray brick that Zack always carried? It wasn't just a joke about old, simple technology. It was basically like having a Lamborghini that he could put in his backpack. The Motorola Dynatac cost almost $4,000 in 1990s money, which is about the same as showing off 3 brand new MacBook Pros every day at lunch, just for fun.
Yes, hello. I'd like to order a large pizza with mushrooms, anchovies, and the hottest peppers you can find.
Think about that for a moment. Zack Morris, a high school kid whose biggest problem was whether Kelly would notice his new hair gel, was calmly carrying tech that cost more than Mr. Belding made in a whole year. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but either Mr. Morris was secretly running some kind of business, or the show's prop team had no idea how teenage money actually worked. For Gen Xers, it was the perfect dream. Technology meant power, the future sitting right in your pocket, if your trust fund was big enough to pay for it.
Hello, Palisades Florist? Yes, I'd like to order 24 roses. One goes to Mr. Belding in care of Bayside High School.
For millennials watching reruns in the 2000s, it became funny proof of how much things had changed. That brick couldn't even play Snake. And now we get upset when our phones don't have 17 cameras. The funniest part is that Zack used this $4,000 piece of modern technology mostly to order pizza and set up dates with several girls at the same time. Truly a pioneer of multitasking and emotional chaos. Number 4. The very special episodes were accidentally funny. Nothing showed early 90s television better than the very special episode. And Saved by the Bell, too. They gave some of the most accidentally cringe moral lessons ever shown to kids eating sugary cereal. Take Teen Line.
Sure, what's on the jukebox?
Well, they change it every week. Let's go see. So, do you like Motown?
I love it.
Or... Whoa, you're in a wheelchair.
Where Zack meets Melissa, played by Jennifer Blanc, a girl in a wheelchair, and he starts acting like she's extremely fragile and someone to pity, until she correctly tells him he's being a condescending jerk. Even though she's handicapped, she gave Kathy perfect advice. The lesson is that disabled people are regular humans. The way the episode showed it was 20 minutes of secondhand embarrassment that made other after-school specials look subtle. Or what about Date Auction?
I bid $75.
Wow, $75? Going once? Going twice?
$100.
Zack Morris, you are promised the Wendy Park.
Where Zack tries to slip out of a date with Wendy, played by Judy Carmen, a classmate the writers turned into a joke about her weight, until he learns that fat shaming is wrong.
No, Wendy.
Because I don't look like Lydia or Kelly or Elle McPherson. I've heard the I'm sick excuses before, but I thought you were different. I'll have more fun going to the dance by myself. At least I'll be with someone who's honest.
Then there's Wendy suddenly disappearing from the show forever because apparently the lesson only needed to last one episode. Classic 90s problem solving. But the best one of all has to be No Hope with Dope.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy.
Dangerous.
Stinks.
In one word, would I use dope? Nope.
The episode where teen heartthrob Johnny Dakota, played by Eddie Garcia, comes to Bayside to film an anti-drug PSA, only for the group to catch him smoking marijuana at a party. Their solution? Instead of calling the police or, real adults, they ignore him and make their own commercial with NBC President Brandon Tartikoff. Because nothing says we're serious about drugs like corporate teamwork.
And I've got a hit idea for the new fall season. Don't do drugs.
There's no hope with dope.
For Gen Xers, these episodes were awkward breaks from the usual fun. 22 minutes of being lectured by characters who went right back to their normal behavior the next week. For millennials watching the reruns, they were pure cringe gold that showed exactly how out of touch adult writers were when trying to talk about teen problems. The best part is that these episodes acted like problems could be solved with one conversation and a group hug, which explains why 90s kids grew up thinking real problems should be that easy to fix.
Number 5. The cast had more drama than a daytime soap. Now, on screen, Bayside High was all innocent pecks on the cheek and holding hands by the lockers. But off-screen, it was basically Melrose Place with better SAT scores and worse supervision. Mark Paul Gosselaar has been very honest about what he calls the cast's incestuous dating history. He dated Lark Voorhees, then Tiffany Thiessen, then Elizabeth Berkley. I mean, at this point, Mark was basically playing romantic musical chairs with his co-stars, because apparently Bayside's dating pool was smaller than its budget.
Linda. What a beautiful name.
It is, but mine is Lydia.
Lydia. Oh, it's so much nicer than Linda.
And he wasn't the only one playing romantic musical chairs. The behind-the-scenes relationships got so messy that producers had to step in and act like counselors because dealing with teenage hormones clearly wasn't part of their job description when they agreed to make a Saturday morning sitcom.
Kelly, do you realize we've been going steady for 68 days, 14 hours and 37 minutes?
38 minutes, Zack. But then again, who's counting?
Sometimes the on-screen chemistry you loved wasn't even acting. Those long looks between Zack and Kelly, the spark between Zack and Lisa, that might have been real, unfinished romantic feelings, which explains why some of those scenes felt more real than anything else in the show, and also why the reunion episodes were probably extremely awkward to film. For fans, it's like finding out your favorite boy band was secretly hooking up backstage, both interesting and a little disturbing, especially when you remember these were real teenagers dealing with their first relationships while being watched by TV cameras and fans at the mall.
Number 6. Bayside High was Hollywood's most reused set.
Hi, Zack.
Think those famous Bayside hallways were special and unique? Well, sorry to break your Saturday morning dreams, but they were basically the TV version of a rental car. Used by everyone, cleaned up between users, and definitely not as special as you thought. The same classrooms, lockers, and cafeteria that held Zack's schemes were reused faster than a Disney Channel original movie set. Studios saved money by putting on new paint and moving the lockers around like they were playing the world's most expensive game of Tetris. The hallways showed up in Saved by the Bell, The New Class, of course, and other NBC/Disney teen shows like That's So Raven and iCarly. It was basically a Where's Waldo of teenage chaos. Honestly, it's pretty funny and explains why every teen sitcom looked strangely familiar. For fans who thought Bayside was a one-of-a-kind place, it's a tough reminder that Hollywood magic is mostly just good lighting and smart budgeting. The next time you watch a random teen sitcom, see if you can spot those familiar hallways yourself. Number 7. The casting what-ifs that would have broken reality. All right, get ready because we're about to step into the multiverse of Bayside craziness for a moment. Now, before Steve Urkel made suspenders cool and turned "Did I Do That" into a national catchphrase, Jaleel White actually appeared in the original Good Morning Miss Bliss pilot. He was cast as a student in Miss Bliss's class, which could have created a completely different nerdy sidekick setup with Zack and Screech.
I was just saying to myself, Zack, you don't spend enough time with your old buddy Screech. Buddy? You said that?
NBC didn't keep him for the new version of the show, but things worked out anyway. He joined Family Matters and became a cultural icon, while Saved by the Bell continued with its own kind of Saturday morning craziness. And here's the shocking part. Angelina Jolie was reportedly on NBC's shortlist to play Kelly Kapowski. Let that sink in. Instead of Bayside's sweet, cheerful cheerleader, we could have had a future Oscar winner bringing her serious, intense energy to pep rallies and school dances. Imagine Jolie saying Kelly's innocent, "Oh, Zack" lines with that strong, smoldering stare that would later amaze Hollywood. The whole romantic feeling of the show would have been completely different.
What do you think? Make a cute couple, don't we?
Less teen sitcom and more teenage film noir. Imagine that alternate timeline, though. Jolie making Homecoming Queen look like a power move, and Urkel as Screech's rival for biggest scene stealer. Oh, and Saturday morning TV taking a much more dramatic turn. That is a legendary butterfly effect. Number 8. The theme song's surprising Golden Girls connection. When I wake up in the morning, I don't think I'll ever make it. That super cheerful theme song that made Saturday mornings feel like pure teenage happiness? It was written by Scott Gale, the same music expert who created Thank You for Being a Friend, also known as the Golden Girls theme song.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Think about that creative whiplash for a second. One day, Gail was writing about cheesecake and late-night heart-to-hearts between older roommates. The next day, he was creating pure teenage optimism in musical form. Gail had a talent for capturing the cheesy, positive vibes of late 80s television. That magical time when every show's theme song sounded like it was trying to sell you a whole lifestyle along with the entertainment. The Saved by the Bell theme perfectly showed that everything's gonna be awesome energy that defined Saturday morning TV. Complete with powerful horn sections that made going to high school sound like the best thing that could ever happen to you. It's the kind of theme song that made a whole generation believe high school would be non-stop fun, filled with attractive people who solved all their problems in exactly 22 minutes, not counting commercials. No wonder high school felt disappointing. We all expected our teenage years to come with that kind of soundtrack. For Gen Xers, it was the sound of Saturday morning freedom. For millennials watching reruns, it became the nostalgic soundtrack of a simpler time when your biggest worry was whether Zack would get caught in his latest scheme. Spoiler alert, he never did. But it's all right, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. All right, now quick reality check. If you had to choose one Bayside character to be stuck in detention with, who would it be? Mine is AC Slater. Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're down there, smash that like button and subscribe because we've got more nostalgic deep dives coming your way faster than Zack can say, "Time out!"
Now, back to the Bayside madness with number 9. Malibu Sands was actually right next to Beverly Hills.
You bring it back nice and smooth, nice and smooth, smooth.
Okay, that's smooth enough.
Hey, you want to join us?
No, but won't you join me?
Practice. Girls, practice.
The Malibu Sands summer episodes were peak Saved by the Bell fantasy. They left Bayside's reused hallways for sun, sand, the random addition of Leah Remini, and Zach Morris trying to look cool in beach shorts that probably cost more than Screech's entire wardrobe.
What is it with you California guys? Too much sun bleaches the brain? Let me make it clear. I catch you goofing off with the girls one more time, and you're out of here.
But here's the twist that connects two of the 90s biggest teen obsessions. Those beautiful beach scenes were filmed in the exact same place as Beverly Hills 90210. The Palisades Beach Club in Santa Monica was used as both Malibu Sands and the West Beverly Gang's favorite hangout spot. Maybe that's why Kelly and Violet were able to move into Valerie and Donna vibes so easily. For one short moment in TV history, Zach Morris and Brandon Walsh were basically sharing the same beach chair. 2 different shows, same expensive club membership, probably the same craft services table too, and definitely the same, we're teenagers, but look 25, energy.
Aloha, dudes. Meet Cynthia. She's the chick I rescued this afternoon.
It's just too bad it took all summer for you guys to get together.
It's the kind of crossover event that could have broken the internet if the internet had existed back then. Instead, we watched both shows, feeling like we'd seen the beach before, without knowing that our Saturday morning beach fantasy and our after-school drama were actually filmed in the same spot. The only thing missing was Kelly Taylor talking to Kelly Kapowski about her latest romantic problem, while Brandon and Zach compared notes on being self-important pretty boys. TV history was robbed of that moment, and probably saved from it too.
Number 10. Jesse Spano was a last-minute invention.
Buenos nachos.
Not so fast, Miss Tortilla.
This is Jessica Spano for Spano Speaks. There were a lot of snorts and grunts heard at Bayside yesterday, and they weren't just from the sweaty red-faced wrestlers.
Before there was Jesse Spano giving speeches about feminism and saving the environment between geometry classes, there was supposed to be nobody. Elizabeth Berkley auditioned for Kelly Kapowski, didn't get the part, and most shows would have sent her a polite rejection letter and moved on. After all, this was 1989, when thanks for playing basically meant goodbye. But someone in the Saved by the Bell writers' room actually had a good idea. Instead of letting Berkley go, they created a totally new character just for her. Enter Jessie Spano, Bayside's top student, activist, and future warning sign about what happens when you drink way too much fancy coffee.
And when I got stage fright, you whispered my lines in my ear?
Don't raise your tail, dear. Tony the Badgers.
That one casting choice completely changed the whole show. Without Jessie, Saved by the Bell would have been pure fluff, just silly plans, school dances, and the usual love triangles. Basically, it would have been like every other teen sitcom from that time. With her, the show suddenly tried to handle serious topics like oil spills, gender equality, and the supposedly dangerous effects of staying awake too long to study. She helped the show jump from Zack's latest get-rich-quick plan to a very special episode about why you shouldn't judge people with disabilities, and somehow make both feel like they belonged in the same world, even though they totally didn't. For Gen Xers, Jessie showed that the show was trying to be more than Saturday morning cotton candy. For millennials watching reruns, she's the reason those episodes had a little more substance than normal teen sitcoms, and a lot more unintentional comedy. Without Elizabeth Berkley's failed Kelly audition, there would be no "I'm so excited, I'm so scared." And honestly, the world would be a much less memeable place.
Number 11. Good Morning, Miss Bliss, the Indiana prequel that nobody remembers. Before Zack Morris was California's coolest schemer, he was, well, still a schemer, just in Indiana, in middle school, with a teacher named Miss Bliss, who actually tried to teach him something. Good Morning, Miss Bliss was Saved by the Bell's strange origin story that most fans have completely deleted from their memories. The show had Hayley Mills, yes, the Disney legend from The Parent Trap, trying to manage Zack, Screech, and Lisa, and almost Urkel in an Indiana middle school classroom. Then NBC looked at the ratings, looked at the budget, and said, you know what, let's just pretend none of this ever happened and start over in California.
Now, I saw your parents last night. I'm glad you told them the truth.
Can you believe it, Miss Bliss? They just want me to be me.
I knew they'd react that way.
And get this, my dad told me he was Blue Monitor too. That's how he got stuck on my mom.
So, they put the kids in high school, moved them across the country, kept Mr. Belding, and acted like the Indiana years with Miss Bliss were just a bad dream. No explanation, no moving van, no, hey, remember when we lived in the Midwest? Just a full reboot that would make Marvel jealous, and way less confusing than any of the time travel stuff they do now. Anyway, for 80s kids, it's a reminder of how TV networks worked before the internet. They assumed you'd just accept it and keep watching. And honestly, we did. The only thing that stayed the same in both versions is Zack Morris finding new ways to avoid consequences, proving that some things go beyond geography, age, basic logic, and apparently good parenting too.
Number 12. Two characters were originally very different. Now here's a casting twist that completely...
Sir, I need your opinion. I was wondering, what do you think of this?
It's all right, I guess. Is it for your girlfriend?
Well, no, sir, it's for me. I'd like to wear it to school tomorrow.
And Lisa Turtle was supposed to be a Jewish girl from Long Island.
Does anyone know the sound that the male frog makes to attract the female? Yeah. No, that's the little boy porcupine getting too close to his mate.
But when Mario Lopez and Lark Voorhees walked into auditions, the producers took one look and basically said, yeah, we're changing everything. According to producer Peter Engel in his book, I Was Saved by the Bell, the original character descriptions were tossed out the moment the team realized these actors brought something totally different and much better. Lopez's natural charm turned the tough Italian guy into a Latino jock, mostly because the writers apparently didn't believe Latino athletes existed before 1989. And Voorhees transformed the anxious Jewish princess into a stylish, confident black teenager who actually had personality. And yes, she was still a princess, just a cooler one. This wasn't simple recasting, it was unintentionally progressive TV. For kids watching on Saturday mornings, Slater and Lisa added diversity that most teen shows didn't have at all. While other series were still stuck writing every character as a white suburban clone, Saved by the Bell accidentally ended up giving representation that mattered. The best part? Both actors made their new characters iconic. Lopez turned Slater into the rare jock who could be tough and sweet. Voorhees made Lisa the fashion queen who was way too cool to care about anyone's drama, especially Screech's. They took characters that were originally forgettable and turned them into Saturday morning legends. Sometimes the best creative decisions happen by accident, and sometimes those accidents make a show far better than it ever planned to be. Number 13. Everything about Zack Morris was a lie. Ready for the double betrayal that changes everything you thought you knew about Zack Morris? Buckle up, because this one's a two-parter that might make you rethink your entire childhood.
Kelly, every summer while the other kids were playing baseball, I was at dance camp.
Wow, I can't wait.
Why did I say that?
Let's start with Revelation 1. That effortlessly cool I run this school vibe wasn't acting, it was anthropology. Mark-Paul Gosselaar has openly admitted that Zack was modeled after real classmates he envied in his own high school. He literally studied the swagger, the slouched walk, the I don't care but I always get what I want energy, and built a character out of every popular kid who ever made him feel invisible. So when Zack felt authentically annoying, yeah, that's because he was a scientifically accurate remix of actual teenage kings of the hallway. The reason you knew a Zack Morris in real life is because there were Zack Morrises in real life, and Gosselaar was the quiet kid in the corner taking notes and cashing revenge checks by playing one on TV. But here's the kicker. That perfect California golden boy look, completely fake. Gosselaar's natural hair is brown, and he's of mixed Indonesian and Dutch-German heritage. NBC, however, wanted a blonde, all-American heartthrob, so they bleached his hair constantly, to the point of damage, essentially whitewashing him to fit their marketing fantasy. So the Zack Morris you loved, or loved to hate, was a lie on multiple levels. A fake persona, based on real-life jerks, topped with chemically manufactured surfer hair, played by an actor who, by all accounts, is far kinder and more grounded than the character he became famous for. Number 14. The cast got screwed out of syndication money. Here's the financial gut punch that makes every Saved by the Bell rerun feel like a crime in progress. The show has been syndicated, streamed, rebooted, and marathoned for more than 3 decades, generating mountains of cash for NBC, while the actors who actually made it iconic earned almost nothing from all those reruns. According to producer Peter Engel and multiple cast interviews, the contracts they signed as teenagers were, in industry terms, downright terrible. Because of how tightly the deals were written, the explosion of syndication success put money in everyone's pockets except the people on screen. Meanwhile, modern sitcom stars earned syndication millions well into their midlife years, highlighting just how badly the Bayside gang got shortchanged. And the ultimate irony? A show about a teenage con artist ended up being one of the biggest long-term cons in TV history, with NBC playing the real Zack Morris and the cast stuck in detention without getting paid.
Sorry I'm late. I was in the library reading up on Tolstoy. Or Tolstoy, as it is often pronounced in Eastern Europe.
What's with Lisa?
Hey, the nail polish fumes must have gone to her head.
For a generation that grew up watching these characters every day after school, it's a harsh reminder that Hollywood accounting makes Enron look honest. The kids who taught us about friendship and loyalty got the corporate equivalent of being stuffed in a locker and given wedgies by their own network. Number 15, the Tori episodes, television's greatest disappearing act. This is the peak of Saved by the Bell chaos, the infamous Tori episodes. When Kelly and Jesse left the show, you'd think the writers would explain it. Maybe a transfer, early graduation, something. But no. Instead, they dropped in a brand new character, Tori, pretended Kelly and Jesse never existed, and hoped viewers in 1993 wouldn't notice. No rewinds, no social media, no explanations. Just Tori, appearing out of nowhere while 2 major characters vanished like they were never real.
Excuse me, but I think you've made a big mistake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You parked your bike in my parking space.
Was your name on it?
Love interest, while Kelly was apparently moved to another dimension. For several episodes, it felt like watching Bayside in a strange funhouse mirror. Everything looked the same, but something felt seriously off. It was like when your favorite restaurant changes the recipe and acts like nothing happened. And it wasn't like Tori was just some extra standing around. She got big storylines that really seemed important. She helped run the Teen Line Crisis Hotline, showing she cared about people. She even had a whole episode where she traded her leather jacket for dresses and makeup to catch Zack's attention, proving she could be just as into boys as Kelly. The writers gave her real growth and strong connections with the group. Then, graduation day came, and in a twist that would make Shyamalan proud, Kelly and Jesse suddenly showed up in caps and gowns, while Tori disappeared like she was erased by Thanos. No reason, no explanation, just boom, back to the old timeline like some Saturday morning Twilight Zone. But here's where it gets even crazier. Reruns play the episodes out of order, making it seem like there were two different Bayside worlds where Kelly both existed and didn't exist at the same time. Fans watching these reruns were basically learning quantum physics from a Saturday morning show and probably thought they were going crazy. The Tori episodes still show how the strangest part of nostalgia is trying to figure out what was real, what to imagine, and what the network wanted you to believe. And that's it. 15 strange facts about the show that made a whole generation think high school was just big schemes broken up by a random dance now and then. Which one shocked you the most? Share your biggest surprise in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the shows that made our childhoods. Until next time,